Hey people of the VC, it's Andy, Cloudy and Milder. Been quite some time since I got around to making a video. I think it's over a month since my last update. Busy time over the summer, but I can't really put my finger on the reason why I haven't really made a video. Haven't really been felt the motivation to do so, but just come back from a family holiday in Tenerife, stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel, which was pretty cool. Not much hard rock going on there now, mostly pop and dance type music played around the pool, but it's a pretty cool place nonetheless. But recharge my batteries, and I think I'm ready to give this whole VC thing a crack again. There's a couple of things I'm going to cover today. First, go with some merch I picked up at a recent gig in Edinburgh. Go on a little ramble about the cost of online secondhand vinyl, and then I got some VCLT from the mighty headbanging Zulu UK to open up and reveal to you today. Right, so start. So as I mentioned, I just went on holiday, but the day before I flew out to Tenerife, I went to see 3 killer heavy metal bands in Edinburgh. Midnight Force from Glasgow, Toledo Steel from Southampton, I believe, and Seven Sisters from London. Seven Sisters t-shirt. This is the cover for the cauldron on the cross. Midnight Force were on first. They're really good. It's the second time I've seen them, and their stage presence and their show just seems tighter, and they just seem so much better. I guess that the more that they play, as you would expect. I took along my CD. Now I'm not a big autograph hunter, and I wouldn't necessarily go out and queue or certainly pay to get anyone's autographs. But I do like to, when I see bands at small venues, if I'm able to grab signatures, I like to just do it for a bit of fun, really, just as a memento of the gig I was at. And they all kindly signed the inner sleeve of I can't remember the name of this album, Dunnesnane. I'll show that. So that was really good. They were. I think it was the drummer. He was really kind of nervous about signing things. He's just not used to people coming up to him and asking. So that was quite nice. But next up was Toledo Steel. They're obviously touring their new album No Quarter, and what was really bizarre actually. So they're supposed to be a 5-piece sort of twin guitars, but their bass player had apparently just packed it in days before they were due to go out on tour, so they played as a 4-piece, and their other lead guitar, Josh, he was playing bass, and I was chatting to them after, and it was really weird when Rich Rutter, the vocalist, he came up to me and said, I know you've got a YouTube channel, haven't you? Cloudy Mulder, isn't it? And that kind of blew me away. I kind of felt a bit like the Midnight Force guys. It was a little taken aback. And also Tom Potter as well, the guitarist, he also came up and said, I'm sure I know you from somewhere. He was asking me my name, and he came up after and said, oh, yeah, you're that guy from YouTube, because I did a video not too long ago on the new wave of traditional heavy metal, and they liked what I said about them, so that was really cool. But anyway, I got them. This is my copy that I picked up on Bandcamp on a pre-order. So again, I just took the inner sleeve along, got them to sign it, but they couldn't use my black Sharpie, so they used their cheap Sharpie, gold Sharpie knockoff, and it didn't go too well. When I took this out on a Saturday morning just to have a look at it, I realised that it was one of these markers that isn't really permanent, and it kind of, as well as it all smudging, it actually stuck the pages together as well, so that they were ripping, and makes it look like I was probably a little bit more excited about seeing Matt on drums than But anyway, they were going off on a mini tour of Scotland, and me being on first name terms with the band now, obviously, from my, they know from YouTube. I just pinged them on their Facebook page and just said, oh, that marker that we were using last night has just wrecked the book. You'd probably be better off getting a better pen for the other gigs you've got. And they got straight back to me, and they were all apologetic, and I wasn't having a go at them by any means. But they insisted on sending out another copy, this time using a proper gold Sharpie. So I got my signed copy, so that was really nice of them. So I now have 2 copies of this. So I don't need 2 copies. If someone out there wants to try out Toledo Steel, I will give this away. Just comment below, and if I get more than one person asking for it, I will do I'll draw names out of a hat, and I will send it to the winning person. It doesn't matter what country, it's not going to cost too much just to send a CD out. It will be the copy with the messed up inner. So if you can live with that, and you want to hear how great Toledo Steel No Quarter is for free, you can have this copy that I don't need anymore. So yeah, comment below, tell me if you want it, and we'll sort something out. And headlining the night was Seven Sisters. Picked up, I went crazy, picked up the t-shirt and the vinyl. I had this on pre-order at Amazon, and I think it was going to cost me about 22 quid. It is a double vinyl, because I did get them to sign this as well. These were all 3 bands. They were great guys. They were really happy to chat before and after the gig. I asked them what songs they were going to do. They just said they hadn't even come up with a set list. They were just going to make it up as they went along. But they did a good job of making it up. I think they only played one song that I hadn't heard, and apparently it was their first single or demo that they released. I hadn't heard that one, but it was a great song. I love these guys live. They were absolutely fantastic. Heavy metal is alive and well in Britain, and bands like Seven Sisters are leading the way. So this actually cost me 25 quid on the night, which is, I don't normally spend that much on an album. I have to admit, I would normally have something like this on my wish list at Amazon and keep it there until the price dropped. But because I was buying it directly from the band, and because they were getting most of the money direct to them and not either going through Amazon or some other seller, and I could get it signed as well, I thought, what the heck, because this is my favourite album so far of 2018. I have played this more than any other album that I have, and I absolutely love it, and the vinyl sounds amazing. So that was a gig I went to before I went on my hollybobs. Had a great relaxing time, come back. Another thing that I decided on holiday, I wasn't really shopping for vinyl on holiday, but I would still occasionally look at things like Discogs and eBay. And I really noticed how expensive secondhand, say 80s heavy metal, certainly vinyl, is becoming online. eBay, the only items that you'll find on auction will be albums that will sell. They'll be like the classics, and they'll go for at least £15 plus, so there's no risk, I guess, in starting them off at £1. But so many other middle of the road, even mediocre albums, they start them off in the auction at £8, and then they want £3-4, well, nearer £4 postage on top, and it's the postage that's kind of killing me. I don't think postage is particularly expensive for what it is, to make sure that the album is packaged and posted properly. I mean, that's what it costs. But when you add that onto the cost of an album, if you're buying an album, second-hand album, for £10 or £12, and you're adding an extra £4 on every time, it's adding a third to the value. And some of the things I'm looking at that I want, I'm just not prepared to pay those anymore, because I know if I find them in the wild, I will get them for probably a similar price, usually cheaper, certainly than eBay and Discogs generally at the moment. So I'm pretty much exclusively now just gonna go dig in for records in person and completely cut back on what I buy online. I'll still buy brand new records online because getting them from Amazon or what have you, it's the going rate. I've got Prime, so I'll get them delivered free of charge. So I did go digging at Vinyl Villains, one of my favourite shops, yesterday. Found a nice stack, which again rejuvenated my kind of faith in things that I'll find out in the wild. I'll show those in an 80s update video coming up. I want to give them a clean and a listen first, but yeah, for me, I'm going to take a back seat on buying second-hand vinyl online. Certainly, as I say, I'm not going to cut it out completely because, for instance, I would love to find a copy of Exodus, Bonded by Blood, on Music for Nations, and that's not going to be cheap. And probably the only place I'm going to find that, I've never seen that out in the wild, would be online. So I'd still look for some of those grails, I think, and you know, if I'm going to pay through the nose to get them, or what I'm prepared to pay, then, you know, post it on top. I can live with that. But for now, I'm going to be exclusively just looking for stuff in the wild. So let's see what I can drag up that way, and hopefully at some point in time. I know Farley's touched on this before, about being priced out of the record market. I don't think it's so much I'm being priced out. It's just I'm just not prepared to pay those prices anymore, to be honest with you. So there we go. That's my ramble. And the third part of this video is some VCLT I got from, as I said, from Steve, known as Headbanging Zulu UK. He actually pinged me when I was on holiday and said he found some stuff and he wanted it to send it to me. I had no idea what it is. And I just asked him to hold off and wait till I come back, and he was fine with that, and it arrived this morning. So thank you very much, Steve. I have cracked the seal to get into this quicker, so I'll pull out what's in here and we'll see this together. I feel like there's a couple of things, but it may just be stiffener. Steve did say there's a chance I would have something in here already, so I will find a good home for it if I have. Let's see what we've got. So, oh, cool. Right. So it's the Ramones' debut album. I do have this, but not this. I'm looking up there. I've moved them to down there, but not this pressing. This looks to be a Sire. Well, it's a Sire. It could be Ramones, but it looks to be a. Is it Spanish repress? And it's still sealed. Very cool, very cool. I mean, this is a classic album. I'm very happy to have an additional copy of this one for sure. In fact, I think, let me just check. Oh, I can't get it. There's a box in the way. I'll do that. I'll check to see if it's definitely a different pressing to the one I have. Although it is a repress. But very cool. Thank you, Steve. This is truly brilliant album. Love it, love it, love it. There is something else in the box, and it is a stiffener. And it is Sword metalized. Another fantastic album. I do have this one as well, Steve. Sorry about that. But I will check to see. I don't think mine's in great shape, so I'll check to see if this is an upgrade or not, and I will pass it on to somebody deserving. Well, the vinyl looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that was probably an upgrade on what I have. But Steve, thank you so much for thinking on me. Oh, there's a note in here as well. Yeah. So thanks, Steve. Really, really appreciate you thinking of me and sending something on. As I said, I do have both. The Ramones is a different pressing, so I'll definitely keep that one. The Sword album, I will check that it's an upgrade. Certainly the vinyl looks that way, and again, I will pass on the other copy I have as VCLT in future to somebody else who'll enjoy it as well. Check out Steve's channel if you haven't already. I'll leave a link below. Great to be back. I will see you again very soon. Bye.